Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm going to talk today about Jupiter and Saturn, particularly in our sky. So I'll just send you a screenshot of where it is so you can see it. Okay, so up here we've got Saturn, and Saturn is in Aquarius, and just down here is good old Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Aries. And I just remember I'm a sidereal astrologer. I'm not a tropical astrologer, and so you may be hearing that they are actually in different signs than what I'm telling you. So sidereal is in line with the sky, whereas tropical is out by 23.4 degrees to the constellations. Okay, so that makes a major difference. So just going to cover Jupiter first. We'll do good old Jupiter. So Jupiter went into Aries around the 22nd of April this year, 2023, and it will be in Aries until May of 2024. So we've got a good year of Jupiter in Aries. So we've got Jupiter-Mars energy because Aries is ruled by Mars. And this can be full on. So remember that Aries is the first constellation of the zodiac. And so it represents new beginnings. It's also in esoteric knowledge, it's the I am constellation. So I am, you're looking at who you are. So being the first constellation and having Jupiter there, it's the beginning of a major new cycle for not only yourself, but this is also on a global level. But yeah, and a lot of changes. You know how I went through the Pluto, Uranus, Neptune influence that we're having, and how there's major changes going on. So Jupiter is going to give a major buoyancy to those changes. And, I personally am taking it on a positive level. And Jupiter is generally a very positive planet, but it can be, it expands what it touches, right? Jupiter will expand it, make it bigger, and makes things more buoyant. And when we're going through a new cycle of growth here, so there are new beginnings actually happening, and Jupiter's going to come in and give it a bit of a lift, a bit of oomph. So new beginnings. So on a personal level, new beginnings are happening. And we just had the solar eclipse. And that was a really interesting eclipse because we also had a Jupiter-Sun conjunction at the same time. So I don't know whether you felt it, but I certainly did. It was a brilliant day. It was a really amazing day. You know, it had a lot of spark in it. That may not have happened for you, but it depends on what's going on in your own natal chart as to what the effects are going to be for you. So this Jupiter in Aries, it's going to expand your desire to do new things. And as you do new things, and because there's this big transformation going on, what you might want to contemplate is leaving the old stuff behind, what no longer serves you, what doesn't work. You know, this is new beginnings. So get rid of the old. It's a bit like clutter clearing. Get rid of what you don't want to have around you and have a fresh start. It's actually a good time for clutter clearing as well. Just do it. Just get it done. So also, Jupiter is going to affect your desire for more reflective inner work. Not so much on the Neptunian side, which is, you know, a very spiritual force. This, because there's new beginnings, because it's about you. It's one of those forces that actually makes things about you, because you're the one starting this new beginning and how it affects you and what you want in this new impulse that you have. So you might end up also having some feelings of what is spirituality for you. Ideals and ideas might come up for you during this period. So we've got a whole year of Jupiter in Aries. So you could pace yourself. I wouldn't. I'd get into it. Just go for it. Make new starts, make new beginnings, new projects. And you might want to start an annual project starting now. Don't wait. Start now. So that solar eclipse was interesting too, in that, you know, it's like the lights go out and then they flash back on again. So I think this is as your stop-start moment, and get on into something that you've perhaps always wanted to do. Now you've got the energy behind you that's going to back you up. So this is pretty cool. So you get a whole year of Jupiter in Aries. Should be exciting. Should be exciting. Okay. So next we've got Saturn in Aquarius. So that's up there. You can see now Saturn went into Aquarius about April 2022, and it's going to come out of Aquarius March 2025. Okay, so we've got a fair stint of Saturn being in Aquarius. Now, what does Saturn do? Saturn is the teacher. So you're going to get lessons here to do with Aquarius, and in particular about the community that you're in, community and groups, you know, the people you hang around with. And you may, you know, two things can happen here. Things can start breaking down because you might realize, well, you know, is this my tribe? Are these my people? You're going to get lessons to do with the communities, the community and group that you know, your neighbors, the acquaintances that you're associating with. You might get impulses to not only to see whether they suit you. This sounds like, you know, I'm being really picky here, but, you know, being around your own tribe, like-minded people. You know, since 2020, when lockdowns happened and mandates occurred, you will have noticed that your position in society has changed a bit, you know, with not being able to go certain places, and there's becoming clarity on, you know, what resonates for you as opposed to other people. Your opinions and your attitudes could be completely different to other people's attitudes. And we see this a lot on social media, where you've got to ask yourself, do I want to participate in this type of you know, diatribe or belief system, or you know, do you want to be mandated? Do you want to be able to be in a group where you can say what you need to say and want to say, or not? It's up to you. You might find that you've been tolerating groups just because that's what you do, you know, just to keep safe and, oh yeah, whatever. And it could now be a time to actually change that. And you could be stimulated by new groups that you decide to be associated with. You might be tested in terms of you have something to contribute to the people around you. and it could be your community. So say if you've been an isolated type of person and you keep to yourself, a fair bit, which Saturn type people can do that. They're more introverted, but not all, of course, but you might have that predisposition to wanting to just do your own thing, just, be in your own space. You may start jumping out of that and decide, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more social. And you might get an impulse to, righto, I'm going to find a group and, mix a bit more. And you may find that you have something to offer groups and you don't even know it. So it can be a time where you start sharing your own knowledge out in your community. It could be a time for, starting up a community garden, for example, because it's something that you do in your own backyard, and you might, either start a new one or start inviting people into your backyard to say, here, help out, and, do you want some carrots or lettuce or whatever? It's a time where you start to go, okay, what is around me? Who is around me? Do I want to start mingling more with groups? Regardless, you're going to have lessons in terms of the people that you're associated with. And you might find that you separate out from people that, okay, let's get real, that bore you, that don't have the same ideals as you do, different belief systems, And this is not about, it's not about being better than someone else or being a disagreeable type person. It's about you learning or starting to do what's right for you. Because when you're in a space that you like and you enjoy, you can be more open and, a better human being, basically. If you're around people that don't have your same ideology, that's really hard, because you're cutting off a part of yourself that can't be yourself when you're restricted in a community or group or even family. Some families are not close. They're actually like, yeah, they're acquaintances effectively. And you might find that you get lessons about who you actually want to be and be around at this time. All right, so that's going to go on for a while until March 2025. Just be observant of what's going on with your socializing and enjoy it if you decide to start doing more of it, which I think is fantastic. Okay, so just another, I've lost the screen share there, but we've got Mars currently in Gemini, which is really quite interesting as well. And I think it's going to be there for how long? It's almost finished, so mid-May 2023. And I'm just highlighting that, currently right now we're in a Mercury retrograde. And generally that's not a really good time for being out and, like doing podcasts, for example. It's a time for, doing things, organizing your own filing cabinet, but not so much being out there. That's the retrograde. However, we've got Mars in Gemini, which is giving a lot more will to the voice, and it's enabling you to speak up, and it's probably demanding that you actually speak up and say more. And I don't know whether you've noticed, there's been very subtle changes in our mainstream media. There's more news that has been hidden starting to come out. So that is the Mars happening in Gemini. So something to be aware of. If you need to voice something, if you need to speak up, now is the time to practice it. Okay, do it. And just because Mars goes out of Gemini doesn't mean you then shut up. You know, this is an opportunity to follow the force that is encouraging you to speak up and say what it is that you need to say. So on a global level, just watch out for announcements. Just watch out what is being spoken about in media. You know, it's media is different. Mainstream media is, to me, more like a gossip rag. It doesn't really have any depth to it, as far as I'm concerned. And you have to go searching for what is really going on in the news. And what I'm noticing is there are just snippets of information coming out that normally has been withheld from mainstream media. So just be aware. Just be aware of this Mars force in Gemini and it doing its thing. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed what I've had to say, and I hope it actually benefits you in some way. Okay, so if you feel you'd like, please subscribe to my website so that you get notification of recordings and blogs. Thank you. Okay, bye guys.